Best budget phone out this year.
CMF Phone 2 Pro. Search now on Flipkart.
We want to talk innovations in T20. So Abhinav, how do you view the innovation factor of T20s from its start to now? And has the game moved, or have the innovations in the game moved to the extent that you may have imagined while you were playing?
See, wherever there's skill involved, right, and a lot of people, especially the early days, didn't think that T20 cricket required a lot of skill. But I genuinely believe that you need a lot of power, you need a lot of practice for you to actually innovate in T20 cricket. When I started playing the game, when the T20 cricket started getting popular, people weren't very confident playing the reverse sweeps or switch hits. Today, it's common practice to actually, like how much you practice a cover drive, you practice a reverse sweep, and it's you go first ball. No one has any qualms admitting I will go reverse sweep first ball if that's my shot. And I love how the mindset's changed over the years. I think Bumrah coming in, Malinga coming into the game has ensured that why would you bowl a Yorker with a new ball? It was such a blasphemous thing to even try it. Would you bowl a wrist spinner with a new ball? You wouldn't do that. So these are things that have evolved beautifully in terms of T20 cricket, and now it's become common practice. And that's where I think teams that are doing really well have adopted really well to the demands of the shortest format of the game. Power, yes, is a big thing, but skill level has also been a massive rise in terms of innovations. I really like all of these things, but more so in the last 5 or 6 years. I think Sri Lanka were at the forefront of this in terms of mystery spin. That's my favorite aspect of it. I love the mystery spinners in the game because they bring a sense of, let's say, I think fast bowlers have an advantage in this sport because they have bouncers, Yorkers, they can deal with, they have a lot more to play with more than the mystery spinners or spinners in particular. That's why I think the mystery spinners gives me so much of an excitement whenever it comes to a T20 game.
Yeah, there's a reason we parked this conversation for when we have Farveez in the studios, because when you examine the early years of T20 cricket and when you think innovations, a lot of it actually circles back. You brought up mystery spinners. When we think shot making, Dil Scoop, which is perhaps the first new shot invention from the T20 era, and even if we talk about your suit, we had Dilhara Fernando with that split finger ball of his, which was new. So I'm just wondering, since all of these things happened around the same time, was it a conscious move within the camp once T20 cricket had emerged as what it was going to become?
I'm going to go back to 2006 now. When Sri Lanka played the first international T20, I played in that game in England against England in Rose Bowl, Hampshire. And we just prepared as if we are preparing for ODI game, because we didn't have separate training sessions or separate coaches telling us for the wide Yorkers or the big hitters or the range hitting coaches. But take a look at now in the coaching setup in a T20 side. We have the fast bowling coach, yes, and he has to have different tactics outside the yaw stump Yorker, slow ball into the pitch, slow balls fuller, slow balls shorter, a power hitting coach. Did we have in 2006? No chance. I think the last couple of years, or probably 3 years, we've started. And when even 2008, when the IPL started on the first year, we just had a basic coaching setup.
Yeah.
I played for Delhi. We just had a couple of coaches and the coaching staff, and that's it. And see where it's now. How many of the backroom staff can trust of having a specialized bowling coach, a specialized power hitting coach, and that's evolved. And as Abhi correctly said, if a batsman doesn't play the reverse, especially the top six, right? Especially the top six, reverse sweep and the sweeping for the spinners, especially in subcontinent, it's almost like you're writing him off. He cannot score much runs unless you are very powerful down the ground. So these are the things that evolve, and I think it's going to get even more harder for the bowlers with a super sub coming in. For example, like in the IPL, that's even hard work for the bowlers. So they need to come up with different things. So mixed spinner, that's the best way to get out. Or else Bumrah or Nasid Malik who can bowl Yorkers for fun. Or if not, you have to pray to God as a fast bowler if you don't have it.
Is it almost not possible now for the young cricketer who is coming up now, be it a batter or a bowler, to have a game which does not have some version of an innovation to survive?
It's an interesting question, Yash, and I think you can't actually answer it completely because there is a very broad sense of what kids these days look at, right? So, yeah, playing T20 cricket is very fun. There is the fun element in it, but there is a certain element of test when it comes to the longest format as well. Yes, you do need innovations, yes, but if it comes naturally to you or you practice it hard enough, I think we are reading into it too much because let's say a Joss Butler playing the scoop shot, right? He practiced it for so long, but his body or his stance and his game allowed him to do that. But there are certain players who don't need to do that. So you need to choose what's best for your game and innovate accordingly. You don't try and ape what another person is doing. That's possibly the best thing that I would say. But I think younger players now have a lot more idea of how to approach a T20 game with whatever certain skill sets they have. So let's say an Abhishek Sharma is not going to play a scoop because he trusts himself to hit sixes down the ground. A Shubman Gill is not going to do that at the top of the order. And that's the same thing with, let's say, Phil Salt, who gets 140 in a
60 ball.
in a 60 ball affair, right?
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I'm trying to say. So innovate accordingly, but then again, you can't just avoid becoming the best version of yourself in this day and age in the T20 format, because that's where I think a lot of attention and popularity is.
With bowlers in T20s, of course, is it reaching a place, or has it reached a place where the ones who do have a lot of mystery, for them, their innovation is now their stock? Because we see Sunil Narayan over a long period of time, he's bowled a certain way. This IPL, we had Digvesh Rathi come up, who pretty much had, it's almost like what we thought was the mystery is now the norm. So where do you stand on bowlers?
I think being a mystery is where you make the big bucks. You go for big money in the auctions wherever you play. So I mean, to find them is going to be the hardest, and also giving them the opportunities to perform in those big matches is another challenge. So for a spinner, being mystery is certainly a plus, and for a fast bowler, the mystery can be being very consistent with good Yorkers. So this is where the challenge is.
All right. So where do we see it going? Do you think there's a lot more that is still to come, or are we approaching a ceiling as far as innovations in the game go?
No, we're going to see a lot more.
A lot, of course.
We are going to see way more in the next 7 or 10 years, because not only is, so what Maharoof said, I just want to add to that, where you had 2 or 3 support staff who were still searching for answers 2008, 10, 20. Now we have data teams analyzing every single matchup. So you've got like particular, not only matchups, you've got 7 or 8 options for one particular skill. So almost every over is going to be a closely watched event. Every ball is going to become that. So with so much technology coming in, with so many innovations coming in, I think we're going to see way more. We're just at the beginning, I would say, of the change in the T20 game, because I'd love to see the other Asian teams also pick up where India were about 4 or 5 years ago and what the kind of cricket they're playing today. Because I strongly believe that the next generation of cricketers are playing an extraordinary brand of cricket when it comes to our country. And I'd love to see the other Asian teams play that brand too.
More moon balls overall?
I mean, we recently saw 300 runs being scored in 20 overs as well, so anything is possible. I mean, all I'm going to say is it's going to be even more innovative in time to come, that's for sure, whether it be bat or the ball.
Yeah.